Women make up 51% of the population, and women are also receiving higher levels of education at a faster pace than men. Kansas City Mayor Sly James wants to use that to our city's advantage. He said it's a good thing for everybody. He joins us live in studio now to talk about his initiative to empower women in Kansas City. So let's first talk about this program that you're starting. What are you calling it?
It's women empowerment.
Okay.
And the whole concept is to work with our partners, UMKC Women's Center, the Women's Foundation of Kansas City, and also the Central Exchange, to build a blueprint for how we can better integrate women in both business and in governmental sectors.
And you're talking about first in City Hall, too. This is not just a how can we help Kansas City be better for women in general. You're talking about City Hall. Give me an example of one thing at City Hall that isn't really conducive to women working there.
Well, I think that we can always be more open to understanding the plight of women, regardless of how much men say they're going to be involved in family. Women generally bear the brunt of that. We need to be sensitive to that and not allow that type of a situation to hold them back and create a false glass ceiling. We ought to be looking at how do we facilitate child care and early childhood learning in the workplace so that women have more options in that regard.
And then you also talked to me a little bit about this is about making it easier for women-owned businesses to do business with city government?
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we have to do. What we're trying to do is to work with, for, and by women. With women in terms of how they interact with city government as business owners. For women in terms of how we provide for them in terms of being our employers, and by women, looking at women leadership in both city government and outside of city government.
Do you know what percentage of city government is run by women?
About 23% of our department heads are women. We have about 30% of our entire employee workforce are women.
So the process is now you want ideas.
Absolutely. What we're trying to do is we first of all want to enlist ideas from people, women, men, whoever has an interest in making this a better place. And then we want to cull those down, but we are looking for research-based foundational blueprints that we can use and employ to develop action steps to actually do something, not just talk about it.
Are you following the footsteps of someone you've seen do this, or tell me how you came up with this idea?
Came up with this idea because I spend half of my life in meetings, and a lot of those meetings have absolutely no women in them at all, or they'll have the same women that I saw at the meeting before. We could all travel together. Sometimes you see the same women so much. It's time for us to recognize that women have a lot more to say and do in this economy and in this city than what we're giving them credit for. They need to be on the stage.
Maybe they're busy.
Well, they may be busy, but I don't think that's the reason. I think that what's happening is that they're being overlooked. And I don't necessarily think that people are doing it out of spite or meanness. I just think that's the way that things have developed, and we need to be sensitive to that, and we need to change it.
All right, so what can people do?
Well, first of all, they can go to the website and leave ideas as to what they think that we can do in order to make the situation better. Secondly, they can work with our partners or with us to try to bring about the culmination of an action plan that we're going to put together. We'll be announcing that plan and what we're planning to do early next year. We want to do this right. We want to do this with sensitivity, and we want to do it in a way that brings people together, not pulls them apart.
You've been doing this for about 2 weeks. You've had this out there, and you said you've already gotten some ideas. We have a lot of females who watch this show right now watching us. What's one message you would have for them about getting involved in their city?
I think one thing that I can tell women is that if you want to be involved in this city and you want to be involved with things that we're doing, all you really need to do is call our office. We try to engage everybody. Our staff is 50% women. They're sensitive to the ideas. We know what they need, and we're going to try to take what they're doing and how we satisfy their needs to the fullest extent possible and scale them up. We want to make sure that everybody who can contribute to the economy and to the well-being of this city has an opportunity. And we need to remember the big 5 ideas of the chamber includes entrepreneurism. If we're not actively seeking out and building women entrepreneurs, we're missing out on a big shot.
So I have your cell phone. Can I give that to them? You want to take the calls personally, or you want?
Sure. Why don't I do that at your house?
No, I'd be happy to host it. All right, very good. So call the city, go to that website. We'll have that on our website at kshb.com. Of course, it's on the city's website as well.
Our number is 513-3500.
All right, easy to remember. Thank you so much. And keep us posted on the efforts, too. We'll be watching.
Oh, thank you very much. And we want you to participate.
You know what? I have some ideas.
I bet you do.
All right. I bet Gary does, too. Gary, what's happening in the weather?